Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 4 from Mirage Comics. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this series. I've been loving the hell out of doing these reviews so far. So yeah, this is issue number 4. This takes place production-wise after the Raphael Casey Jones one-shot. So it makes sense that that was like a one-shot spin-off because it doesn't really seem to fit the... It seems off, basically, because in the last issue, we had Splinter discovering the Utroms, and in this, we have the Turtles coming across the Utroms. So these two fit together, and then to just kind of have the Casey Jones segued in between just seems a bit off, but I wanted to get that in there just because, I mean, it's the first appearance of Casey Jones, which is one of the coolest comic characters ever, in my opinion. But yeah, so we start off with the Turtles. It's been about a week since their master Splinter has disappeared, and they're still trying to find him. So right now they're jumping around the buildings, trying to see if they can locate their master. I will say that while the artwork is great, like I really do love this artwork, which is kind of weird because as a kid I read like the first 6 or so issues of this, and I never cared for the artwork then. But going back and reviewing it now, I actually really do like it. I don't know what it is, like just. It has its own style and stuff like that, but it's just, to me, it's awesome. Like, I love this artwork. I will say that the whole black and white, it's cool, but it also sometimes makes it hard to tell who the Turtles are. Especially, like, we get this panel here where they're, like, swinging around. I know who they are just because of the dialogue, but if I were to take the dialogue out, I can't tell who's who. In fact, based off this dialogue, the only thing that I know is I know that Raphael is the one swinging. But I don't know who's on the right. I don't know who the 2 Turtles are on the left because I can't see their weapons. And that's the only way you can tell apart who's who. So yeah, I do kind of wish it was like in color. I know there's like a colored version, but I also wish that the colored version had the different colored bands. I know that's kind of heresy. Well, I guess it depends. I know there are some people who love the fact that the Turtles had different colored bands later on. And I know some people hate it because they feel like, you know, that's not how it was originally intended. I enjoy it though. But yeah, so they're swinging around trying to find their master when all of a sudden they get attacked by the Foot. And this is the first appearance of the Foot Clan since issue number 1, I believe. So yeah, I'm glad to see the Foot, you know, coming back and making their appearance. I know obviously that they were going to at some point because they play a huge part in the series, but I'm glad it was sooner than later. So yeah, we have a fight between the Turtles and the Foot. And during this fight, we have more proof that the original run was grittier and darker. Like, we have the Turtles actually slicing them open. Like, we have Leonardo slicing the torsos of some of the Foot and killing them. We have him chucking one of them off of the building. Well, he kicks them off the building. Michelangelo's beating them with his nunchucks. Well, obviously he's not killing them really. I think it's more like knocking them out. But yeah, everyone else is basically kind of going for the kill. Like, they're stabbing them, they're chucking them off buildings. They have no problem when it comes to killing the Foot, which is kind of funny because in the last video I did, Raphael was kind of like going after Casey Jones because Casey Jones is like, every crime deserves capital punishment. Like, everyone who commits a crime deserves to die. And Raphael's trying to stop him. And then here, Raphael kind of has no problem killing. But I guess it's because it's the Foot Clan, he has no problem killing the Foot. So I guess the Foot are the exception. So yeah, we have a scene where Raph falls off the building with some of the Foot Clan. He's able to grab a rope and swing into a building. Meanwhile, the rest of the Foot, I guess, plummet to their death. And then, you know, he runs back on top of the building just as the final Foot Clan is destroyed and killed. And as they finish off the final Foot, they see a building with TCRI on it. And it reminds them of their origin story, which you can see in issue number 1 in the first video I'm doing of this series. So yeah, they're like, the TCRI are the ones behind the ooze that created us, or at least that mutated us from regular turtles into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But they can't do anything about it now because sun's about to come up and they can't be out in the sunlight. Well, I mean, like, they're not vampires or anything, obviously, but they don't want anyone to spot them. So they want to use the cover of darkness so that humans don't see them. So they go back to April's apartment where they discover that the TCRI building is not located on any maps or anything like that. It's like almost like a secret building, which kind of made me think, like, if this was supposed to be like a secret building, then why did he have giant letters TCRI written on top? Wouldn't you just have the building there and not have any kind of logo or anything like that that others can see? Like, if this is supposed to be like some kind of secret hideout, why are you splashing your logo on it? But whatever. So yeah, they break in. We have the turtles being ninjas, which is cool. It's one thing just to see them constantly fighting, but it's also cool to see them actually use like stealth and things like that. Like, we have a scene where they're on the rooftop and there's like a single camera. So Donatello, being the intelligent guy that he is, snaps a photo of what the camera should be seeing. And then I guess he uses a pigeon hand puppet to block the camera temporarily so that he can put the photo in front of the lens. That way when he takes the pigeon hand puppet away, the camera is just recording the photo and won't notice them walking into the building. So I was like, okay, that's a cool sequence, but why the hell is Donatello walking around with a pigeon hand puppet? Does he just have that stashed on him? So where is he keeping that? Because obviously, I mean, they're the Ninja Turtles. All they have on is like they have their elbow pads, knee pads, bandanas, and belt. They don't have any like pockets or pants or anything like that. Like, where is he keeping that? Do I want to know where he's stashing that hand puppet? I don't know if I do. So yeah, they sneak into the building and basically trying to gather clues on what's going on. Maybe their master's here somewhere, or if not, maybe they can just find out like more about their origin story and how they came to be. As they're gathering clues, they come across a key card and they take it just as they hear footsteps approaching. So all of them hide out and they wait for the footsteps to disappear before they come out, and they continue trying to check out all the buildings, but all the doors are locked until eventually there's one building that has a keypad. So they decide, okay, I'm going to use the key card. So they put in the key card, open up the door, and they find their master inside a tank. And at first they're pissed off, but then they discover like, oh, he's not dead. He's just like in suspended animation or something. But as they're trying to get him out, the Utroms are alerted to their presence. So the Utroms get inside the little Terminator-looking bodies, and they show up at the scene, and we get a fight between the Utroms and the Ninja Turtles, which eventually leads them to chasing the turtles to the translocation device. And Michelangelo basically tells them, like, you know, go, like, make a run for it, and I will try to hold them off while you guys go, and I'll try to catch up later. So the turtles are running because there's a door at the end of the room, but to get to the door, they have to walk across the translocation device. So as they're on it, Michelangelo slips because he injured himself earlier against the Foot Clan, and he falls on the control panel, and that activates the translocation device, and it starts teleporting the turtles. And as the turtles are being teleported, Michelangelo jumps into the fray as well because he doesn't want to leave his brothers behind. So he jumps in with his brothers, and that's how the issue ends. And yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to see the appearance of Dimension X in the next issue. Like I said, I read like the first 6 or so issues, but it's been forever. Like, I literally read them as a kid. So it's been about 2 decades. Actually, it's been about, I would say, maybe 25 years. I read this when I was about 10, and I'm 35 now. So, yeah, it's been about, what, 25 years. So, it's kind of hazy. Like, I'm one of those where it's like, as soon as I start reading it, then I kind of start remembering what's going on. But I haven't read the next issue yet, because I'm trying to do, I guess this right now is semi-blind or whatever. Like, you know how there's blind Let's Plays? That's what this is going to be. This is going to be like a blind reviews where I'm going to read the Mirage Run, most of them for the very first time. And then as soon as I read the issue, I'm going to immediately do a review on what I just read. So I'm not going to be reading in batches and then recording in batches. I'm going to read, and then review, read, review, read, review. That way you get my immediate thoughts on the issues. So this is semi-blind because I've read this issue before, but it's literally been 25 years or so since I've read it, so I don't really remember much. But yeah, this was great. I loved it. Like I said, I'm loving this series so far. I have no idea why it took me so long to read this. I mean, I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. One of the probably my most popular videos so far was a review for the Urban Legends, and like the very first like 5 minutes of it was just basically me gushing about how awesome the Turtles are and how much I love them. And there's like some, was that the video that I have some photos of like my Turtles collection? I own all the Turtles video games. I have a lot of the toys, like the action figures, both the like, you know, stuff that came out in like the 80s and 90s, and even stuff that came out somewhat recently. I have the board games. I have coloring books. I have children's books. I have some of the Archie comics. I have a bunch of like attire. Like I have beanies. I have gloves, which you guys have seen in some of my comic reviews. I have shirts. I have pants. I have PJs. I love the Ninja Turtles. I have all the movies. But for some reason, other than about like the first 6 issues or so, I never read the original run, and I have no idea why it took me so long. But I'm glad that I'm doing it now because I'm loving this. This is awesome. Like, this is freaking amazing. I love the artwork. I'm loving the story. The story is very like 80s, just like the dialogue and the fact that it reminds me of like the radio dramas where you have characters describing what they're doing, which is something that you see in a lot of old school comics, where like a character like doesn't just do like a kick. The character is like describing the kick that he's doing, or like what like, characters describe like what their actions are, which is always funny to me to go back and read stuff like that. But yeah, like it just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just nostalgic. Maybe it's just, you know, as I'm reading this, I'm just reminded of my childhood and all the fun I had with the Turtles. But this is great. The writing is awesome. The art is awesome. I am digging the hell out of this series so far, and I'm hoping it continues to be great. I'm hoping like it doesn't have a strong start and then it kind of, you know, whimpers out near the end. I'm hoping this just continues to be an amazing series from start to end. So far, it's been phenomenal. I love it, and I hope you guys are loving these reviews. So yeah, there we go. Ninja Turtles issue number 4. Freaking phenomenal. Man, I freaking love this. But hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you guys next time. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.